Hey there, good folks. Dr. Charlie here. Today's topic for Charlie Chats is sometimes you got to make do and sometimes you got to make a plan. Let me explain that a little bit. Sometimes you're looking at your circumstances, you're looking all around you, and it is unbearable, but you know you need to see it through. So you need to figure out what you need to do in the moment to make do. Here's the thing. Here's what I had to do. I had to do that for my dissertation. Oh, my dissertation. I was so over my dissertation by the time I finished it. I was done. My thesis was the same. I had to, I had to get it done. The only way out was through. So I had to make do. I had to make it work in the moment, even though I didn't like it anymore. And then sometimes you have to make a plan. Sometimes when you feel like you're stuck in a situation, yes, you're making do for the moment, and you're also figuring out the next steps that you need to take in order to not find yourself in the situation either anymore or again or ever again if you can. I've learned not to speak in nevers, not to speak in forevers, as it were, because I've had to eat those words so many times, so many times. And so I try to bring my focus and my language, my intentional language, I try to bring that more present to kind of the present moment, the present circumstances. That's also really recognizing and honoring that in this given moment, I am okay. That kind of revolutionized the way that I thought about things because sometimes when I'm focused on all the things that are going wrong or all the things that I don't like, what you focus on multiplies. So I get more of those things. So it's coming to a place where saying, you know what? In this moment, I am okay. I'm overall all right, even if I am caught up in the seeming bigness of the things that I don't like or the things that are triggering me or the things that I have an adverse reaction to. So that's important, but that's also a time to make a plan. For me, I remember a friend once asked me, this was a long time ago. I was back in my hometown, probably after college, even though when I moved to college, I had moved out and moved all of my stuff. And so it was to my chagrin. I was not happy to be back in my hometown. And a friend of mine, a good friend at the time, he said, Charlie Brown, what's your plan? And then I told him my plan, and he laughed. He said, see, I knew you had a plan. He saw that I was not one to necessarily sit and be in an unhappy situation for but so long. And that is true. And sometimes I still have to make do. Sometimes I have to figure out what I'm going to do, what I need to do in order to make do, to make it through this particular situation right now, in the here and now. And also then figuring out those steps. And I don't always know those steps. Sometimes I can't know them. Sometimes they unfold really one at a time, and I then just have to take the step in front of me, the one step that I can see. Do you remember that movie Labyrinth? If you are a hardcore millennial, that is probably before your time. It was an 80s movie with David Bowie and Jennifer. I don't remember which Jennifer it is. But there's a scene where they're in what's called the Bog of Eternal Stench, and then there is Ludo is a rock caller. He is one with the rocks and can call them. So they're trying to get across this Bog of Eternal Stench. And so he would call in a rock or a boulder, but it would be one at a time. And so they could only take one step through this Bog of Eternal Stench, this unpleasant situation. They could only take one step at a time, because literally the other step had not presented itself yet. And so sometimes it's like that for us not in movies as well, where I know that sometimes I can literally only take the step that is in front of me, and I can't see any other steps. I'm still okay. I still have this one step to take. And I don't feel like I can make a plan, and yet at some point another step will reveal itself, and then another, and eventually I'll be out of the bog of eternal stench and able to make a plan at that point. So sometimes you got to make do, and sometimes you got to make a plan. Figure out which situation you're in, and then respond accordingly. What action can you take that is making do or making a plan? And if you have to make do, can you understand that in this moment, because you're still here in this moment, that you're okay? And it's okay to not be okay. And because you're in this moment existing, then there's some level of okayness that is happening. All right, good folks, Dr. Charli here. If you want to find out more about me and the work that I do, you can find that at drcharlibrown.com. That's Charli with just an I and Brown like the color. Hope to connect again with you soon. Take great care.